Hey, welcome into ShopFix, your free online source for everything DIY. In this episode, I want to show you how you can add a light to an existing circuit. And for this example, I added a light to my pantry, so let me show you how it looks. In this video, I'm going to detail every step that you need to take to do the exact same thing. Stick around. ShopFix, your free online source for everything DIY. Alright, let's get started here with step number 1, which is measure and marking the location for your new light fixture. Now, what I'm measuring here is just a preliminary position of the light fixture. We're going to actually have to check for studs and see where we can actually make this hole for the old work light fixture box. And so to test the location out, I'm drilling a small hole about at the center point of where I ideally want it to be. And I'm going to stick a dowel rod up in the ceiling, and that's going to help me check where the studs are in the attic. Well, now that we know the exact position of the studs, it's going to make it a lot easier to draw out and cut this final hole for the old work light fixture box. I recommend using a compass to draw out the final measurement for the hole, and the radius is simply the center point of the new fixture to the outside tabs. And the outside tabs are simply the way that the old work box securely mounts to the drywall. After using a hole saw bit to remove most of the drywall, I simply cleaned up the rest with a knife. After this hole has been made in the drywall, you can go ahead and take your old work light fixture box and securely mount it in the hole you just made in the drywall. After mounting the new fixture flush to the drywall, I'll take a screwdriver and lower the tabs down on the top of the drywall to securely mount it in place. To power the new light, we're going to connect to this existing fixture in the kitchen located near the pantry. Before we get to work on this existing fixture, we're going to have to shut off the power to the working area. Now that we've disconnected the power to the fixture, we're going to go ahead and disassemble it. The reason we have to disassemble this light is that's the only way to access the electrical, and we're going to have to tie in a new line to this existing circuit. Now that the light fixture has been disassembled and we've installed our new light fixture box, it's time to install the proper gauge wire between the two light fixtures. Now, in this case, I'm going to be using 14 gauge wire for a 15 amp circuit. 15 amps is very common for light fixtures like this, but I would double check to make sure you're using the proper wire. Next, we'll simply take some staples and securely mount the wire along the ceiling joist. When installing this electrical wire, you're going to make sure that you have 6 inches or more to work with, and you can always cut the excess off on the other side, but you have to at least have 6 inches. Well, with the electrical wire ran, that about wraps up our work in the attic, so we'll redistribute the insulation over our working area. All there is to do now is properly wire in our new line. First, you'll want to trim off the excess wire until you're left with about 6 inches remaining in the box. Next, we'll unsheath about a ½ inch off both the black and the white wires. Now we'll take the proper wire nut and tie in all of the black wires, all of the white wires, and all of the ground wires. All electrical connections can be unique in their own specific ways, so you can't take this example as verbatim for all projects. However, the process you go through is similar. After that's all complete, all we have to do is reinstall the light fixture. With the existing light fixture installed, we can move on to properly wire in our new light fixture. After trimming off the excess wire to about 6 inches, I can go ahead and unsheath about a ½ inch from the white and black wires. So I'm using a plastic box as well as a plastic light fixture, so the ground wire is actually not needed here. The white wire, if in fact neutral, will go on the silver screw. The black wire, if in fact hot, will go on the brass screw. With both the white and the black wire screwed into their proper location, we can mount the light fixture onto the blue box. To complete this mounting process, simply take the screws provided in the kit and install them in the proper holes for your light fixture. Then simply put them through the keyhole and tighten them in place. If using a porcelain lamp holder or you haven't installed one of these before, I would simply tighten by hand so you don't break it. After screwing in the new light bulb, I'm going to go ahead and flip the breaker back on. If the breaker pops right here, you'll know right away that you have your electrical wiring wrong. Well, now let's go ahead and test out our new light fixture. I think this new light fixture in the pantry really added a really cool element to the kitchen. To conceal the chain in which I use to turn it on and off, I simply mounted it to the wall. And it's also connected to the light switch, so I can simply use the switch as well. Well, that about wraps up this project, but I really hope you found this content useful. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe to the ShopFix channel.